Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Bridge, the official 10-7 Capital podcast. My name, as always, is Tyler, and this is our man of the hour,
Timnihill.
And today we're going to be talking about retirement. I know you're excited about this one.
Oh, near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, exactly. And by that, I assume you're very, very, very sarcastic.
Yeah.
Ever
say
so
the
slightly.
least.
Ever so slightly.
To say the least.
But do you want to... today I guess we're going to be talking about why you're saying that sarcastically. Because I think, a lot of people in the space who are more forward-thinking, who have their finger on the pulse of what's been going on with, the future of finance, I think a lot of those people, are saying, and rightfully so, that retirement as a concept, traditional retirement, isn't working. I think that's abundantly clear, especially to everyone
Isn't working,
who's...
it doesn't work. It's a fallacy.
Especially to everyone who's currently in it,
Retirement planning is a concept that investment management firms created, like mortgages, to gather assets and charge fees.
But that's exactly it.
90% of our industry is based on retirement planning.
Yep, and that's exactly it. Like today...
It's a joke.
Today, we're going to explain why it's a joke, how it came to be a joke, and more importantly, how...
It's been a joke since the 1930s.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use my grandparents, for example. So my grandfather worked for Buffalo Color, had a fully funded pension, spent his entire life building his house, buying a house for his family, and gets into retirement 10 years in, Buffalo Color goes under, gets acquired. What's the first asset that's being raided by every takeover that happens? It's happening with Mandami in New York City right now. What's the first thing he's going after? The retirement pension fund. Oh, we need money. We got to dip into the pension fund. That's why pensions went bankrupt. Because pensions were built on bad math. Just like the entire financial planning and retirement industry is built on bad math. Don't believe me? Go to a retirement community. Everybody there had financial planners, and they're all broke. And where are their advisors now? Gone.
Mm-hmm.
Not around. And let me tie this to the younger generation. You're how old?
24, going on 25.
Okay, so in order to get your Social Security, because it's been horrifically mismanaged...
Why would I even bother?
And you're... Now, in order to get it, you're being told you have to work to the age of 72. Before you get your full retirement benefit that you paid into for 40, 50 years. Do you consent to that money being taken out of your paycheck every other week?
No, I'm good.
No, you do not, as do none of us.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a non-consensual retirement system across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And retirement as a concept is going away.
Yeah, not only because of that, not only because of the system surrounding it, but just because, it's the manner in which the set of circumstances around which retirement as a concept was structured has changed irreversibly. Like the classic narrative, you work 40 years, you save, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps or whatever, you retire at 65, then you live off those savings and then you die. But that framework came from a different era.
Right,
shorter life expectancy, pension prevalence, as you just said, the economic situation was much less volatile. Retirement used to be a finish line. Now it's more like an intermission.
The thing about retirement is, why would you wait so long? Call it delayed retirement, because that's just a fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So, think about it. Look at another problem that the current generation, forget my grandfather's generation, look at the baby boomers and the parents' generation have. They went lock, stock, and barrel into their 401ks. I have $1 million in your 401k. Great. $1 million is worth nothing now. That's like having $60,000. BlackRock just came out and said people are saying they need at least $2.1 million to feel comfortable in retirement. I'll tell you that number's closer to $5 million. You don't have $5 to $10 million, you're not retiring comfortably. I don't care what you do. There's no way mathematically that you can live off of that money. It's mathematically impossible, right? So now, what's the biggest issue that the baby boomers are encountering? They put all their assets into annuities, tax-deferred accounts, whether it's 401k or traditional IRA accounts. What's the worst thing you can have in retirement? Because the assumption was your expenses would be what? Higher or lower?
Mm-hmm.
The assumption is your taxes and your retirement expenses are lower when they're in fact a hell of a lot higher than were during your working life. Way higher. It's bad mathematics.
Yeah.
So, kiss Social Security goodbye, kiss IRA accounts goodbye, kiss 401ks goodbye. Elon Musk and Tony Robbins, who everybody follows, millions upon millions of viewers across the world and across the country, they are literally coming out and destroying the concept of retirement. Elon Musk said it's the dumbest thing you could possibly do. Mm-hmm. He goes, it's a waste of time. Why would anybody do this? Mm-hmm. And guess what? If I'm at home and I have technology making me money, well, technically I'm retired at the age of 27.
Yeah.
You can't get people to properly fund a future liability in today's terms. Your funding you need today is 300% of whatever that future cost is going to be. And on top of that, you have an entire generation of people who are very observant that are telling people, just go look at your retirement communities. Is that the lifestyle you want?
Exactly.
And it's not going to happen. And
you ever
the
seen
advances in healthcare are way far beyond.
You ever seen that scene from the Sopranos when Tony brings his mom into that retirement home and she's like, people go here to die?
That's what people do there.
Yeah.
You literally become a hamster locked in a box. And you have to...
Society has deemed your body no longer capable of performing labor.
And then you have to deal with... I mean, I'm not going into these communities. I would never live there. Mm-hmm. I don't like people enough. No offense.
Didn't you mention, God bless her, I think it was your grandmother went into one of those communities and didn't she tell you, like, at one point, like, she hated it there?
Oh, she hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Hated it.
But she had nowhere else to go.
She had nowhere else to go because of bad planning.
Mm-hmm.
Bad planning.
Yeah, I remember we went there one time.
Poor generational planning.
Like, it was like she was living in this, like, tiny little room. And now my own grandmother is in one of those communities, and it's the same thing. It's like just a tiny little room, and there's like a hospital bed that they sleep in, and they, put...
They all had financial advisors.
Exactly.
All of them. And they're all broke. And they're all dealing with the government taking all of their money.
Mm-hmm.
And another situation that I just got brought into where, a couple had to split their assets, and they had an LPL advisor.
Really?
Yeah. LPL advisor decides to retire. She loses a lot of money in the process because the system took it because of a 7-year look-back period in the state of Massachusetts for Medicare and Medicaid because her husband got some gangly disease out of nowhere and they had to split, and now she, who was a working person with a state pension, and because of state pension, no Social Security, and oh, by the way, no annual inflation increases in her pension check. Criminal. Thank you, Elizabeth Warren. And then, now, she's trying to put everything back together with what little she has left.
Mm-hmm.
So, retirement in its entirety is gone. Retirement planners are over.
Yeah.
So if your business is built on consulting with 401ks and IRA accounts, you're toast. These are not tax-deferred accounts. They're tax liability accounts. Mm-hmm. And I could more than outperform from a tax efficiency perspective 529 plans and 401ks and IRAs and all that.
Yeah,
And the other thing is what happens for these people that have all their money in 401ks and IRA accounts, and they need money for, let's say, when you have business partners, for example, that split and they can't sell the practice because they can't come to terms with anybody because every side of the table ends up being absolutely greedy and they can't get out from under it, so they have to spin off and start from scratch again. Well, shoot, I need capital to start my new business. Oh, great. Well, where am I going to get it from? My 401k. Well, I can't. Why? Because I have to pay taxes on that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then it's no different than like a bank putting a cap on how much money you can take out. It's
right.
worse.
And now there's just too much information around this and too many other avenues for success that the next generations are not interested in this. Right? You have a new generation that are making and taking advantage of tremendous opportunities in the tech space, and the next generation of healthcare and all this other stuff, and they're just not interested. I'm just going to figure out how to play Monopoly and own the board.
Mm-hmm. And that's
so
kind of where...
if I'm retired at 25, 36, 45, I don't care about working hard. It's one of the most unintelligent things I've ever come across.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where we...
Because it's not true.
Yeah, and that's kind of where, we really turn to what investors today have really unprecedented access to. Because, those are...
Unprecedented access to.
Because
that's a great word.
Those are all the negatives, like that's how it's changing. But if you look at the positives, if you look at, what it's being turned into, investors today have unprecedented access to markets, tools, data, education, and most importantly, technology lowering barriers to sophisticated strategies. And this even goes, outside of just technology. The nature of work itself is changing. There are more flexible careers. Work more often than not these days is remote. Most people, outside of like retail and manual labor tend to work it from home.
And honestly, the lifestyles that the previous generations lived before are not good enough.
Yeah.
We're not interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not interested in scrounging up every last dollar and not buying a cup of Starbucks because my financial advisor told me that's what to do to fund a retirement that's never going to happen because some made-up Monte Carlo simulation, which is fake math, false math, it's never going to work. None of those scenarios ever happen.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's the nature of careers themselves that are changing, not just how they work. Right. Like consulting, entrepreneurship, portfolio careers, a lot of those things are really popping off. Like the big thing that's happening surrounding all that is the opportunity that the innovation in the space is creating. Fundamentally, there are three pillars to this. There are new asset classes, there's a much expanded global investment access, and automation is reducing costs. So it's like...
If I took...
It's like you choose how you work.
Here, you ready? Here, kill this concept of retirement for you. If I took every dollar that someone puts in a 401k over the last 10 years and I bought Bitcoin with that same amount of money, I'd be a billionaire right now. So there's retirement for you. You're trying to coax people into saving $1 million or $2 million and trying to convince them, and they're blind to it because the graphs look pretty. And they're hoping that because they spent their entire life energy on this strategy that it works. But it doesn't. And that's why retirement plans are going away. That's why 401ks are going away. And that industry should. It was hijacked by the government in 2008. I was a bigwig in the 401k space for a long time. I did a lot of work behind the scenes that no one knows about in that space, and it was hijacked. Mm-hmm. So investment firms could gather assets and charge fees and jam pieces of shit target date funds down people's throats. And if you want a freaking fiduciary class action lawsuit, go study the Pension Protection Act of 2008. Because I think the fact that investment firms can take advantage of 401k savers, offer dog shit investment solutions, and have zero fiduciary liability, and then be able to auto-enroll and auto-escalate everybody under the guise of behavioral finance is criminal.
Yeah.
It's criminal. Don't like it, don't care. So I don't have to worry about this, that, the other thing, because this is another segment of our life that is going to self-correct.
Yeah. And here's where I think we get into the crux of it. Here's what I think the foundational point of all this is. Because everybody and their mother, like I said at the beginning, everybody and their mother knows that retirement doesn't work. It's not working. It's outdated. And it's, been hijacked in a million different ways. And not only that, but everybody knows that nowadays what the modern goals of, the average person in the workforce are: freedom of choice rather than simply stopping work, sustainable income streams, and there's really a multi-generational thinking that a lot of people are starting to have, and also just general alignment with lifestyle and purpose. That I feel like is why family offices, or one of the many reasons why I feel like family offices are really coming into their own as not just the future of finance in general, but in this space in particular, because you're coordinating investments and taxes, like there's long-term planning there. You're viewing wealth as a dynamic system rather than a static number like a lot of these older platforms do. And also you're planning for decades, not just short-term milestones.
Yeah. Right, and family offices are way more equipped to handle these issues. I mean, I had another thing I came across that we're working on where advisor sold a client a non-retirement annuity. Shake my head on this. So the retiree wants to do something different. Under the advice of his own advisor, they flipped on the income stream. And you could still surrender the policy, but okay, I need to surrender the policy, and if I do, for this person who wants to help a friend or two at the age of 82, you're going to trigger a $315,000 tax bill.
Just why? Just why?
So
I can feel the pain radiating from you right now.
a lot of bad work out there. And like I say, it's never 100%, but if you get it right 8 to 9 times out of 10, you're in a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the problem. These are the problems that no one had the foresight to think about. And think about the concept of retirement in of itself. Just listen to the words, retire. Why would I want to get tired again? It doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like to use retirement. I like to think about it is, when do I get to the point in my life where what I've done financially pays for everything?
Mm-hmm.
Living the life I want to live. So
Sovereign wealth.
Sovereign wealth. Family offices are...
Sovereign wealth is the new retirement.
Family offices are specially equipped to build sovereign wealth. Traditional advisors, wealth managers, and financial planners are not.
They're equipped to build traditional retirement.
If you want to go and retire and do that playbook...
And work at a Target when you're 67.
Yeah, go enjoy working at Target and Starbucks when you're 65 years old. Just step back and watch what's happening. And for the younger generations out there, don't work with financial advisors. Work with family offices. A lot of us are coming down market where we have the opportunity, because we're successful with what we've done, we can take on new clients that may not have and meet minimum assets sometimes. We're going to look at it from an opportunity perspective and a philosophy perspective. But you know what? Taking someone from $0 to $10 million is a lot of fun. right?
Yeah.
So it's fun helping people and entrepreneurs build wealth.
Because it's
But
like
you
you're along
don't
for the
do
ride.
that in the traditional retirement planning landscape. And with the adaptation of technology, the access to information, if you look at the statistics now, people are looking at their getting information from channels like YouTube, not traditional media channels. It relates as related to finance.
Mm-hmm.
And when you watch some of the stuff in the background and you hear them talk about what's going on in DC and different states and stuff, I mean, it's laughable. And you now have the next generation of wealth taking over, right? I saw, like, right now, think about this. The current system is a bailout for baby boomers.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing's a bailout for old people.
The government keeps announcing new bailouts and new...
73.7% of the wealth in the United States is owned by the baby boomers.
The government keeps announcing new programs and new bailouts for seniors, and they keep talking about how much they love seniors. Meanwhile, the comments below each of these announcements is like from young people, like, "Hey, we can't afford rent. What the hell are you doing to help us?"
Yeah, and
then meanwhile you have the occasional senior who's like, "Yes, thank you, Mr. President. We love
Right.
you so much," and then they just get like 60 million comments below, like, "Yeah, screw you."
right, like
The government only cares about one section of the
We won't take the measures
population.
that need to take place to help the older generation transition out of their accounts, because if we do so, the values of their house might drop 5%.
Fundamentally, the government only cares about one section of the population because that one section of the population is who is staffing the government.
Yeah, and even all that's going away. So the whole point is, what is retirement planning?
At this point, it's like a freaking Ponzi scheme.
It's nothing. It's whatever. It's personalized. What does it mean to you? Well, to me, it means I don't have to worry about working every day.
Mm-hmm. That's sovereign wealth planning.
Or I want to work, and what I do has more purpose, and I do it for fun.
You have to think about it in terms of sovereign wealth planning. What are you planning to do to get to a state of sovereign wealth?
And what you're really trying to do is you're really trying to establish your own financial platform for yourself and next generations, if you want, and for your business, because it's very important for this from a business perspective is longevity planning. It's not retirement planning, it's longevity planning, and it's asset protection at its best. So how do you formalize the strategies that are needed to become wealthy, secure sovereign wealth, protect it, and mitigate risk, and extend it for longer than you could possibly imagine? Because this is where the retirement plans are all mathematically wrong, because people are running them out to what? 85, 90 years old? If I went to Fidelity, what would they tell me? We're going to run this out until you're the age of 95. Well, great, I'm going to live to at least 150. Okay.
Honestly possible with how quickly they're curing aging at this point.
Right. There's a channel I came across the other day on YouTube. You have 70-year-olds with the bodies of 35-year-olds now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if I'm with a retirement planner, whether it's an advisory firm or like a Fidelity, Vanguard, whatever, and they're saying your money's going to last until you're 95. Great. So what do I do from the age of 95 to 150?
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing videos on YouTube of like 102-year-old people like dancing in like community centers as if they're in like their 70s.
Right. And
like,
then you have to think about, if I'm looking at this, I'm looking at what types of investments last for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the stock market?
Nope.
Nope. That's only been around for about 120.
Give or take.
Right? So,
And this is where family offices come in.
Is it real assets? Yeah. Is it ongoing real estate strategy? Yes. What do I mean by ongoing? Never plant your flag in one place. Have to be portable.
Yep.
Okay. Asset protection, trust work? Yes. How do I become my own bank? Yes. How do I protect all risk and mitigate using insurance? Yes. How do I make myself tax efficient and tax free? Yes. Not, let's put $3,000, $5,000 a year into this tax deferred account, grow it for 45 years, so at the end of 45 years when we start taking it out, because we can't touch it along the way because you're penalized with it, that we now have to foot the higher tax bill at a future point in time. Under the blind assumption that, one, your dollar remains and keeps its value, which we know with the numbers that are published, your dollar loses 90% of your value every 30 years, 3% a year down.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe ratchet it faster when you compound it, but whatever. Let's say 18 years. So your dollar is worthless, next to worthless in 18 years. Oh. No, I didn't count that one. Take that into account in my retirement plan. But this green line looks fantastic. This orange dollar looks cool.
Mm-hmm. So,
all right, so what else is around for a long time? Insurance, real estate, digital property now.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to unwind this concept of retirement that's been programmed in everyone and really think about, what do I want to do and when do I want to do it?
Exactly. So something to think about if you have a 401k. Maybe don't hang on to that. Maybe get maybe get something else instead, because there's plenty of stuff that's going to actually help you more than that one.
The adage is don't throw all your eggs into one basket.
Exactly.
And that's what indexes and 401ks have become. And now people are starting to wake up to the fact that,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't work.
For sure. And I think especially maybe in the next episode, or definitely in a future episode, we'll talk about 401ks in particular and how those got hijacked, because I think that's definitely a deep dive I want to go more into detail into.
Well, I can give you every detail you need.
Exactly. But that being said, I think we've crossed the bridge for today. Anything else real quick you want to add?
I kind of like that topic, how 401ks got hijacked.
Yeah, I think we're definitely doing that
and
one.
And how they put the nail in the coffin on pensions.
Mm-hmm. I like that one. But that being said, look forward to that. Obviously, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Check out our website, tensevencapital.co. And we hope to see you for the next one. See you soon.
Don't you find it interestingly convenient that Pension Protection Act of 2008 happened right when Wall Street needed a bailout? And then the floodgates opened for all monies to go to target date funds to Wall Street?
Curious.
Curious.
Think
about that one, gang. Cheers.
Cheers.